Do you know which anime series was the most popular during the 90s and still remains just as popular today? An anime that changed an entire generation. A series that helped make anime famous beyond the borders of Japan. Yes, I'm talking about Dragon Ball. This series is not just an anime. It is the father of the modern shonen anime world. It inspired the writers of today's masterpieces such as Naruto, One Piece, and many other anime series. Welcome to Failure Sensei. Today, I am going to explain the legendary Dragon Ball created by Akira Toriyama. So, without wasting any more time, let's begin episode number 1. At the beginning of the episode, we see that in a distant magical forest lived an elderly martial arts master named Gohan. One day, while wandering through the forest, he found a small child. He raised that child as if he were his own son and trained him in martial arts, making him strong and resilient. As the child grew older, he gradually became more powerful. The child's name was Goku. Now Goku lived alone. He had the responsibility of protecting the Dragon Ball that his grandfather had left behind. In the present day, we see Goku going about his daily routine. First, he goes to the mountains and cuts down a tree. Then he returns home and begins practicing martial arts. With a single punch, he shatters the tree he had brought back into pieces. From this, we can understand that Goku possesses extraordinary strength. Meanwhile, we see an unfamiliar vehicle approaching Goku's house. A young girl steps out of the vehicle. She takes out a radar and begins checking a location on it. At the same time, the Dragon Ball in Goku's possession starts glowing. Goku does not pay much attention to it and heads into the forest to gather food. While walking through the jungle, Goku is suddenly chased by a tiger. To escape, he starts running, but the tiger continues pursuing him. As he runs, Goku leaps into a ravine. The tiger jumps after him. Although the tiger falls into the ravine, Goku manages to survive by grabbing onto a tree branch at the edge. However, the branch breaks, causing him to fall into the water below. His clothes become soaked, so he stops to let them dry. Then he gets an idea. Using his tail, he catches a fish and even manages to catch a huge kingfish. Carrying the fish, Goku starts heading back home. Just then, the same vehicle he had seen earlier comes from behind and crashes into him. The impact sends Goku flying a considerable distance. The girl inside the vehicle becomes terrified and thinks, "Did I just kill that boy?" But to her surprise, Goku gets up completely unharmed. Because Goku had lived in the jungle all his life, he had no idea what a car was. He assumes the vehicle is a monster that has come to steal his fish. Enraged, he lifts the car and throws it aside. Then he takes out his magical staff and begins smashing it. The girl quickly pulls out a gun and fires at him. However, the bullets do absolutely nothing to Goku. This makes it clear that Goku is no ordinary child. He is incredibly powerful. Still, the bullets do hurt him a little. The girl is shocked and asks, "How are you still alive?" Goku believes the monster has cast some kind of dark magic on him. He takes out his staff again and prepares to continue destroying the vehicle. The girl quickly shouts, "Stop, stop, I'm not a monster, I'm a human just like you." Then she steps out of the car. For the first time in his life, Goku sees someone from the outside world. He stares at her in amazement. The girl says, "Look carefully, I'm a human just like you." Goku circles around her, examining her closely, and says, "You do look like a human, but you don't seem very strong. And why are you so skinny?" The girl replies, "You idiot, it's because I'm a girl." Goku says, "Other than my grandfather, I've never seen another person before. And this is the first girl I've ever met. But my grandfather told me that if I ever met a girl, I should always treat her kindly." The girl smiles and says, "Well, at least your grandfather did one thing right." After that, Goku begins inspecting the girl in a very strange way. You can imagine Goku's unique style of checking someone. The girl immediately shouts, "Hey, hey, what are you doing?" Goku replies innocently, "I was just checking whether you have a tail like mine." Then he adds, "Don't worry, maybe girls grow their tails a little later." The girl thinks to herself, "What does he mean my tail will grow later? What an idiot." Goku then asks her about the strange machine she arrived in. The girl explains that it is called a car. Goku responds, "Oh, I see. Since you have a car, you must have come from a very big city." Wanting to be friendly, Goku invites her to his house. The girl takes out her radar and checks it carefully. She begins thinking that the Dragon Ball she is searching for might actually be at this boy's house. Deciding that it is worth investigating, she agrees to go with him. As they walk toward Goku's home, Goku tells her his name and asks for hers. The girl replies, "My name is Bulma." When they arrive at the house, Goku notices that his Dragon Ball has started glowing once again. He immediately assumes that his grandfather is trying to communicate with him. Bulma, however, becomes extremely excited the moment she sees the Dragon Ball. She picks it up and starts examining it closely. Goku quickly snatches it back from her hands and says, "Don't touch my grandfather. He's trying to tell me something." Bulma then takes out 2 Dragon Balls from her bag and shows them to him. Goku stares at them in surprise and says, "Wow, 2 more grandfathers." Bulma sighs and explains, "Those are not your grandfathers, they are Dragon Balls." She then asks Goku to place his Dragon Ball next to hers. As soon as he does, all 3 Dragon Balls begin glowing together. Bulma starts explaining the importance of these mysterious objects. She tells Goku that if Dragon Balls were to fall into the hands of an evil person, they could potentially be used to bring great disaster upon the world. Curious, Goku asks, "What exactly do these things do?" Just as Bulma is about to answer, the scene suddenly shifts to a mysterious group located inside an ancient-looking structure. In front of them rests another Dragon Ball. The leader of the group, Emperor Pilaf, picks up the Dragon Ball and dramatically declares, "Dragon, grant my wish." One of his assistants immediately interrupts him and says, "Your Majesty, I regret to inform you that it doesn't work that way." At this point, let me briefly explain what Bulma was trying to tell Goku. There are a total of 7 Dragon Balls scattered across different parts of the world. Each Dragon Ball contains a specific number of stars inside it. When all 7 Dragon Balls are gathered together in one place, a magical dragon named Shenron appears. Shenron can grant any one wish to the person who summoned him. It is very similar to the story of Aladdin's magic lamp, except instead of a genie, a dragon appears to fulfill your wish. After hearing this explanation, Emperor Pilaf becomes excited and says, "So, if I can collect the remaining 6 Dragon Balls, I'll be able to bring the entire world under my control." He continues, "Then I alone will rule the whole world." The scene then shifts back to Goku and Bulma. Goku looks amazed and says, "So they really can do something like that? But why didn't my grandfather ever tell me about it?" Bulma replies, "Maybe he simply didn't know about their true power." Then she adds, "To be honest, you and I might be among the very few people in the world who know the secret of the Dragon Balls." Goku immediately responds, "But stop mixing my grandfather up with your Dragon Balls." Bulma laughs and says, "Don't worry, every Dragon Ball can be identified by the number of stars inside it." Goku nods and says, "Yeah, I understand. My grandfather's ball has 4 stars." As she looks at the Dragon Balls, Bulma thinks to herself, "I can't believe it. In just 1 month, I've already managed to collect 3 Dragon Balls." She begins dreaming about her wish and thinks, "If I can gather all 7 Dragon Balls, I'll ask Shenron to give me the perfect boyfriend." Finally, Bulma turns to Goku and asks, "So Goku, will you give me your Dragon Ball?" Without hesitation, Goku answers, "No way, I will never give it to you. My grandfather gave it to me. Just because you're a girl doesn't mean I'm going to hand it over." Bulma quickly reminds him, "But didn't your grandfather tell you to be nice to girls?" Goku immediately starts thinking very seriously about what she has said. Bulma continues trying to persuade Goku. Then she says, "Listen, if you give me your Dragon Ball, I'll give you these clothes." As you can probably tell, Bulma was referring to a very particular piece of clothing. However, our innocent Goku simply looks at her and says, "What would I do with your dirty clothes?" Hearing that, Bulma becomes furious. She starts yelling at Goku and says, "What did you just say about my clothes?" Then she pauses and begins thinking about another way to convince him. Finally, she says, "All right, Goku, how about this? Come with me, you can be my partner." Goku looks confused and asks, "Your partner?" Bulma patiently explains everything to him and eventually manages to convince him to join her on her journey. Deep down, Bulma thinks to herself, "This kid is incredibly stubborn. I'll keep him with me until my wish is granted. At the very least, he can serve as my bodyguard." After agreeing to travel together, Goku asks an important question. "Bulma, the Dragon Balls could be anywhere in the world. How are we supposed to find them?" Bulma smiles confidently and replies, "Do you even realize who you're standing in front of?" She then takes out the radar she had been carrying and shows it to Goku. The device is capable of detecting the location of Dragon Balls. Looking at the radar, they discover that the nearest Dragon Ball is still about 750 miles away from their current position. Goku asks, "Is that very far?" Bulma answers, "Let's just say we're definitely not walking all the way there. And since you already destroyed my car, we'll have to think of another solution." She reaches into her bag and pulls out a small capsule. Without any hesitation, she throws it onto the ground. The moment the capsule hits the earth, something incredible happens. With a puff of smoke, a large motorcycle suddenly appears. Goku's eyes widen in shock. He stares at the motorcycle in complete amazement and asks, "Bulma, did you just use some kind of dark magic?" Bulma ignores the question, and the two of them climb onto the motorcycle and begin their journey in search of the Dragon Balls. After traveling for some time, Bulma suddenly stops the motorcycle. She tells Goku that she needs to go behind a tree for a moment. Watching her walk away, Goku says to himself, "I don't understand. She could have just used the bathroom right here. Why does she need to go behind a tree?" A few moments later, Bulma suddenly starts screaming at the top of her lungs. "Goku, help, Goku!" Hearing her cries, Goku immediately rushes toward the sound. When he arrives, he finds a giant dinosaur-like bird holding Bulma captive. The creature looks at Goku and says, "Bulma is my friend. I came here to take her away." Using a series of ridiculous explanations, the creature manages to distract Goku long enough to tie him to a tree with a rope. Then it grabs Bulma and begins flying away. Bulma starts crying and desperately calls for help. The dinosaur-like creature says, "Stop crying so much. Today is going to be a wonderful dinner." Meanwhile, Goku watches the situation unfold and says, "I understand that Bulma is in trouble, but why is she shouting so much? People can hear you even if you speak normally." Still tied up, Goku quickly uses his tail to free himself from the ropes. Without wasting another second, he jumps onto the motorcycle and speeds after the flying creature. Thus begins Goku's first real rescue mission, as he races across the wilderness in pursuit of Bulma and the dinosaur-like monster. Goku drives the motorcycle at tremendous speed and eventually manages to catch up with the dinosaur-like creature. Timing his move perfectly, he launches himself into the air and reaches the monster. He immediately tries to rescue Bulma from its grasp. However, because of gravity, both the motorcycle and Goku begin falling downward. At that very moment, Goku pulls out the magical staff strapped to his back. He extends the staff and strikes the dinosaur-like creature directly on the head. The powerful blow causes the creature to lose its grip on Bulma. As a result, everyone begins falling toward the ground below. Goku lands safely without much difficulty, but the dinosaur-like creature crashes deep into a ravine. Bulma, on the other hand, is not so lucky. She ends up hanging from a tree branch near the edge of a cliff. The fear and panic become so overwhelming that the bathroom problem she had been holding in can no longer wait. Hanging from the branch, Bulma starts crying and desperately calls out for Goku to save her. Hearing her cries, Goku quickly rushes over and helps her down safely. Once Bulma is back on solid ground, the danger finally passes. Relieved to be safe again, the two companions prepare to continue their adventure. With the immediate threat gone, Goku and Bulma get back on their motorcycle and once again set off on their journey to search for the Dragon Balls. Although they have only just begun traveling together, they have already encountered danger, mysterious creatures, and unexpected challenges. Yet neither of them realizes that this is only the beginning of a much greater adventure. And with Goku and Bulma continuing their quest for the Dragon Balls, the episode comes to an end. Guys, if you enjoyed this explanation video, be sure to leave a like. And if you want to watch future videos and continue following the adventure, make sure to subscribe to the channel.